Let's do some more, if we have to, review of England-Brazil last night. John Brewin, writer and broadcaster, joins us. Hey, John.
Hello, Max. Hello, Barry.
Hey, John.
Thanks for agreeing to do this. I mean, we did agree before the game. It was not scintillating. I guess that's the nature of England friendlies. I'm not getting too upset about it. Are you, John?
No. But actually, I don't know if you saw this, but last night I decided to act as if you should get upset about it. So I wrote a few headlines for.
Oh, great.
Remember back in the 90s when things used to get really, really het up about these things. And so here's one that I came up with. Hendrik Lamer.
Yes, good.
Southgate's England flops lose as woke new shirt desecrates flag of St. George.
Excellent. That's a good one.
Yeah. In the name of woke, go. Okay, yes. Handbrake Southgate's holding back our brave three lion boys. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
And this one,
so you really had a good evening. Okay, there's more. This is excellent.
I've gone for a rugby sort of thing. England badly lack intensity, line speed and physicality missing as Brazil show how to get over the gain line. So I thought that that's more the rugby pages, but I did think about it. Yeah. It was.
I mean, you've covered all bases. I mean, I guess that's at least a way of getting you through a friendly, isn't
yes.
it? I think we probably all share on the flag. We probably all share the same view, I suspect. Which
I'm sure.
I just don't care.
No,
but I mean, I talked about it yesterday, and some people do. We got some messages saying that they really did care, but I don't care. There are really important things in the world that I will use that part of my mind to care about on the pitch. I thought Brazil were quite good, John, considering, as Barry's pointed out, none of that. It was a bit like a sort of Sunday league game where no one had met each other. Their whole back four were like, "Who are you? You're called Vinny, are you? And you're Dave. All right, fine. You're Mirandinha. Brilliant. All right, well, let's just try a four and see how it goes." I thought midfield was excellent and really disciplined, and they've obviously got talent going forward.
Well, I think one of the problems is that while we should be, we're no longer wowed by Brazil because we see them play for teams like West Ham and Wolves and Aston Villa. And then you suddenly look at them and think, yeah, these are really, really good players. And those are some of the best players in the Premier League, by the way, Paqueta in particular. And they were decent. And classic Brazil, in finding a player like Hendrik, there's always a new Brazilian new star coming through, and they normally tends to be really, really good. And this guy looked the business, didn't he? And whatever it is 20 minutes. I suppose the idea of like Richarlison playing or something underwhelms us, but the thing that Brazil have, and the thing that England still don't have, despite the likes of Jude Bellingham being in the team, is they hold the ball so well, don't they? And also, this is a friendly, and Brazil fouled in a way that we're probably not used to in friendlies. But when England got on the attack, Conor Gallagher in particular was on the receipt of some pretty heavy tackles. Brazil made sure that he wasn't going to get anywhere. Brazil looked a decent team, didn't they? Considering that this is supposedly one of their worst generations for many generations.
Yeah, well, I think they'd lost 3 in a row coming into this qualifiers for the next World Cup: Uruguay, Colombia, Argentina. It was Dorival Jr.'s first game in charge, and they'd 5-6 debutants. So yeah, good win for them. John, you've upset so far Patriots, West Ham fans, Wolves fans, Aston Villa fans. I'm going to give you a chance to upset Chelsea fans. I read somewhere this morning, Hendrik could have gone to Chelsea, was more or less on his way to Chelsea, until Todd Bowley stuck his oar in and decided, nah, he's not for us. I'm sure Chelsea fans would be delighted to hear this.
He's no Nicholas Jackson, is he? Actually, let's be fair to Nicholas Jackson. I think he's had a good season. It's improving. Yes, but yes. Do we really need to fuel more fire for Chelsea fans angry with Todd Bowley? I think that's probably not what we need, is it?
So, as England fans,
okay.
What?
Okay.
Did last night increase or decrease your belief? And I know, Max, you definitely think England can win this Euros. I, as usual, think you are completely delusional. I'm not sure what John Brewin thinks. I have been in a room with both of you as England lost the Euros final, and it was a tremendously gratifying experience, I have to say. Do you think I'll get the chance to do this again, or will you get revenge on me?
I think that I think we can win it. I don't think we will win it. I think winning any tournament is difficult. History suggests we won't. I think there are real question marks about who is the third player in midfield. Hopefully Kobbie Mainoo gets a bit more football. I know he's really young, so they will put a lot of pressure on him, but he just seems... He does, and I know that Man United fans will say, look, he's not a natural, he's not Claude Makelele, right? He doesn't just sit, actually, he can push on. But, you need somebody who is going to sit there. I think in his debut was against Everton, I think, and he played really well in that role because Casemiro wasn't there. And I'd like to see him play for 90 minutes with Rice and Bellingham. It's obviously, last night doesn't really bother me. Okay, Kane and Saka are missing. That's so big for England. I know a lot of those players will play. I'm still worried about Maguire. A high line and Harry Maguire is not great. Has he let England down? No. But we can win it. Sure, we can. Will we? Probably not. That's probably where I would sit with it. I don't think we should be favourites. John, you can chime in there.
Yeah, my logic is this, and I was watching a conversation between Paul Scholes and Gary Neville the other day, and they were talking about how theirs was the golden generation, and yet they looked at the other teams of the France of the early 2000s, the Germanys, the Portugals, and Spain, that happened a little bit later, and just thought, well, this is our golden generation, but you lot are actually better. Because you're in a golden generation, you're playing against a team with Zinedine Zidane in it, and you're thinking, we're probably... But I look around the rest of Europe, and I think these teams aren't fantastic, and maybe again that's because we're used to seeing a lot of the players come to the Premier League, so that the novelty factor isn't there. But as a talent base, I think England's is just as deep as anybody else's. Okay, maybe France is the one outlier to that. Does that mean that England win the Euros? Well, no, because England, there is a mental block, there is a psychological thing that almost prevents us in those great big moments, and we're back to the small margins, that famous phrase that we always use when we lose. And I think, do I expect England to win? No. Maybe that's in my nature, but Max is a much more sunny, optimistic type than I am. There's no reason why they shouldn't, but they probably won't.
No. But there's an interesting point there as well that because we're so used to seeing those players, that's a really interesting point about, how we view opposition teams. But also, there are scores, like most teams that win tournaments don't have a world-class player in every position. Like that just doesn't, it's almost never that a nation produces all those players at the same time. So like the fears that we have about the players that aren't at the level of Bellingham or Foden or Kane or whatever, and Saka, say, that is actually not a disaster. Like obviously you want to have people who are brilliant and playing brilliantly and in great form, but like if you just look through history, random footballers have won the Euros and the World Cup because by definition you're not going to have world class players in every position. But that is just something for us to talk about in the build up, I guess, John.
I was just going to say, just on Foden though, you could say is quite easily the most talented English player, and has probably been the best English player in the Premier League this season. But for England, that player is not there, is he? So would you want a player that's better for it? A player that was better for England, but not as good as Foden? I mean, that's, you go back to 1966, that Jeff Hurst was better than Jimmy Greaves for the England team that they had then. It's about building a team that works together. And Southgate,
and that's so hard, isn't it? To drop Foden for Jared Bowen, even saying it out loud, it seems ridiculous.
It seems ridiculous,
But you never know, that could work. But so you have to, because he's so good, Foden. But you just have to be not scared to make those changes, I guess, which Barry, you've alluded to in previous tournaments. Once the game is going, you've got to do something when it's not working.
Yeah, I'm very much a Southgate skeptic. I think his in-game management is appalling.
I mean, he definitely exists. He does exist, Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he very much exists. And I expect if he didn't exist, England might have won at least one of the last two tournaments they were playing in.
Here we go.